All right, everybody, welcome to another evening with some drafts, some best ball drafts today. We are just posted our tweet here. It features Waffle House, and as probably a few of you might know, it's a nickname of rookie wide receiver on the Ravens, Elijah Sarratt, because he's always open. Made a nice play today in camp, so we will see if, what are the Underdog drafters, how are they reacting to this? Are they still drafting him kind of last round? Is he moving up the boards a little bit with one play in camp? You guys know that I am kind of a Jacoby Lane guy myself, but, I think everybody has their opinions, whether it's Rashad Bateman, Lane, or Sarratt, or maybe none. But definitely a polarizing position. The Ravens, wide receiver room. Their number two is typically not super involved, just over the years. But we do have a new head coach, offensive coordinator. Has said he wants to do more play action, probably more, 3 receivers in the field, 11 personnel stuff. But we'll see. But I am interested to see how, as we're going to jump into a BBM here, how the Underdog community is reacting to small news, because the last time we had a blurb about Ted Hurst, just said he fits an X receiver. He moved up pretty nicely, 3 or 4 rounds. So I have noticed the Underdog community is very, very reactive to news. So interested to see, Sarratt having a good day, making a highlight reel catch from Lamar. We'll note, though, Flowers and Bateman both sat out. So, but like I said, Underdog community, they do love to react here. So, we have continued our Josh Allen drafts. Did one this morning. I think this is the first Josh Allen Caleb team. We got Caleb at pick 80, which felt really good. We started out JT, Achan, got Brooks, Tyrone Tracy, Ray Davis. Got a nice fall on Tucker Kraft, Laporta, their tight end room. Let me check our. All right, we're the 101, so I think that's like the third time in a row. Or I know the last time I streamed Underdog, we got the 101, so could be a little streamer advantage there. But receiver room, we got Burden, Christian Watson, Brian Thomas. Still drafting Steph Diggs, hoping could land in Buffalo maybe. Rashid Shaheed, took a pretty rare Deebo Samuel, Cher, Sean Stribling, Tesla, and then ended it with Jalen Knoll. So that team was pretty good. So we do have the 101 here. Looks like we are surrounded by no Badgers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the top 7. So could be an interesting room. Yeah, you guys know how we do here. We will always grab Jahmyr Gibbs when the opportunity presents itself. So that's exactly what we'll do. And we will just wait. Speaking of, let's look at our team that we did last stream. I believe it was not that one. Yeah, okay. So it was a Chicago-Dallas stack out of the one hole. Caleb, Prescott, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Scattaboo, Tank Bigsby, Jaden Blue, George Pickens, Downs, Pearsall, Wandale, Diggs, Shaheed, Flournoy. Took Brandon Ayuk in the last round, and Loveland, Shig, and Dulcich. So kind of remember that a little bit. We'll get a little different from that one, I'm sure. Do you have a CeeDee Lamb at pick number 6? Genty at 12 always feels good. To the to Pikachu. He brings up Nico Collins. Drake London goes pretty early, so could be a wide receiver kind of hungry room. Saquon McCaffrey is a nice start for the 9-hole. Do you like the name one-time champ? It's all you really need in best ball, in DFS. You win one time, you're set. Just like we did. It was 2012. We won our Millie Maker in DFS. Not best ball yet, but hoping we can add a Millie win to best ball. Also have come in 2nd and 6th the last 3 years in the Millie Maker. So we have been getting close to number 2, but definitely life-changing. A lot of work, though. All right, so Ken Walker at 21. Have not seen that far of a slide for Bleacher John. Chase Walker feels pretty good. Pickens goes to the 2-hole. We did Brees in the last team. Let's go ahead and do Olave and Devontae Smith on this one. I always mention that the one hole, I like to kind of avoid the Lemon, Hurts kind of chalky, maybe 72, 73 picks, but don't mind taking Hurts with Devontae Smith. Maybe getting a little different than I know Devontae can go probably fairly often around the 2-3 turn, but definitely want to avoid Lemon when he's kind of in these chalky spots. But I don't mind Hurts. Saw he was kind of inaccurate today, missing Devontae a couple times. So see if kind of the stink on Jalen Hurts kind of continues throughout the summer, because I know a lot of people are pretty well off him. Just had a rough year last year, but also a lot of people are pointing out how tough their playoff schedule is, which really don't care if that's going to be contrarian. I'll definitely be buying into that. I understand they're playing Seattle, Houston, and the Niners, but as we see every year, things change pretty rapidly in the NFL. A lot of worst to first. Understand that Seattle and Houston were elite last year on defense, but pretty much any team is like one or two injuries away from, not being elite anymore in a personnel group. So, not saying they won't be good, but just saying I'm willing to buy into, the uncertainty there. So let's check in what the rest of the room's doing. Have a pretty early ETN pick to London 007. Could be building a little Week 17 situation going on here with Bijan and ETN. Scadaboo's been rising, so our most owned player will probably start coming down in ownership a bit, because we've been taking him in the late 4th, early 5th a lot. But I've always said he should be kind of around Javonte, right behind Breece Hall. Probably, honestly, where ETN goes is where I like to take. Where I'll be taking Scadaboo. So, one-time champ does grab Loveland, which pains us to see, because I would have loved to see him come all the way around. Luther Burden, surprisingly, has not been drafted yet. We would love to get him at 48. 31 Neighbors is pretty early. Also, 45 Bucky is also early. So Burden goes to the bodyguard. A little sad there. what we're going to do here is grab DeAndre Swift, give us a little Week 17 correlation there, and then I think we're going to also grab Terry McLaurin. He's a guy that we do not have much of, but wouldn't mind setting up maybe Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts over here if this room is kind of anti-quarterback. They like to build a good amount of, two elite quarterbacks, especially ones with the rushing upside. Also, could just grab one of the two if they're there, but would be nice to double tap over here. See if we can get either guy, but a lot of the previous Gibbs builds we were doing, or just the last couple we've done, have been kind of, I think one was Loveland and McBride. More early tight ends, less receivers. So we'll build this one a little more receiver heavy. So we can go ahead and close out of this draft because we've gotten completely different from that. It's kind of what we were aiming to do. So Rainbow Show gets Henry and Lamar and Flowers. So it's got a triple Baltimore stack. And Pikachu grabs Burrow to pair with Higgins. So this is probably where we'll see round 6. See if we can get Jaden and or Hurts to us. Like I said, we'll take both if we can get them, but probably not. Seems like a pretty quarterback interested room. Because Drake May goes unstacked to Troy Nakis. Let's see who else we'd be interested in here. I'm surprised that Bashal Tootin is still on the board. He's been rising up, especially on Underdog. Seems like he's been going in the kind of early 5th from what I've seen. So Jaden goes to one-time champ, unstacked. So Tootin goes at 67. That's a really nice spot for him. Also considering that Godzra went 3 receivers and McBride early. So McBride at 30 is a good pick. So he's cooking a nice start here. And Jeremy Price also 68. It's a nice fall on him. Caleb goes at 69 to the Rome drafter. Chiba Hubbard goes. So looking like we'll probably get Hurts here, which we will. Question is, what else do we want to do? Definitely grab Hurts, and then let's do Jalen Warren this time. Mentioned how chalky the Lemon Hurts stack is around that, or for the one hole drafter, and as you saw there, Lemon was available. So see it almost every draft. This same build. So did not want to do that. But still interested in Hurts. So did pair him with a better option of Devonta Smith. So we got a little 1-3-3-0 going here. Another thing a lot of the one-hole drafters do is, especially if they have Hurts, is they like to get Brock Purdy here as well. So we also love Brock Purdy, but I think for the sake of trying to be a slightly different one-hole drafter, let's maybe we'll do Jared Goff instead. Who else goes in that range? Yeah, I guess really Goff is the only one that makes sense to kind of pull up a bit. Although I also did this another time where I drafted Jaden Reed here and pulled Love over to the side of the board. Did like that. I like that a good bit as well. The Amon-Ra drafter has Jaden, so if we did want Goff, I'm guessing we'll probably have to get him here at 96, which I do want more of Goff. I think I mentioned this last stream, but he is, you know, projected for the highest over-under on passing yards in the NFL. And, you know, don't mind having him without Amon-Ra or JMO, especially because I have Gibbs. We could maybe get Laporta as well over here. Sometimes he falls. I think that draft I showed earlier today, I think got him at like 104, 105. So he did have off-season back surgery. I think people are maybe a little worried about recovery there, but it sounds like he's going to be good to go week 1. Doesn't sound so good for Alec Pierce. Today there's a new quote. I mean, not saying that he's not going to play week 1, but it sounds like now he may miss some of training camp as well. Never love a guy. Never love, you know, may miss, may do this talk. Could be, you know, lots of ambiguous language being used around him, but not a guy we really like anyway. So, but I thought that was interesting. So it looks like we might get Laporta to fall to us. We do. So yeah, we're gonna just grab Laporta, and Jared Goff finished it off. So accomplished our goal there. We got a good tight end. We also finished our quarterback room, and we got slightly different from the one hole. Which really all you need to do is just not take Mekhi Lemon with Hurts, and also not draft Hurts and Purdy together. Those are kind of the rules to live by in the one hole. So Godzra, we mentioned, had a nice opening start and got a fall on Tootin. He also went with Ramondre in the 7th, RG Harvey, and Gainwell. So he's got a really nice running back room. He's got Lamb, Adams, and Buka. So he has a nice week 17 correlation there with Tampa and the Rams, and then, you know, CD and McBride. So he's got a good start. Does not have a quarterback yet, so could be eyeing Baker potentially with Gainwell. Who else? Oh yeah, Ibuka. So probably eyeing Baker, I'm sure. Should be able to get him here at 115. Although quarterbacks are coming off the board pretty quick here. No one has 3 quarterbacks yet, so Stafford at 107 is a nice fall. Has this, I guess, Kyron stacked with him, and then Brock Purdy falls to 108. It's a good spot for him. He goes unstacked, but still a good pick because, as you know, we take Purdy a lot and like to backstack him. Pretty easy to do. Some good options. So we're pretty flexible. Wouldn't mind some San Francisco correlation with Hurts. I was gonna say with Kittle, but he goes. Otherwise, it's probably going to be running backs. Maybe another tight end like Kelsey, or probably just Kelsey. So Godsword does take Baker, so good start. Still a good start for him. Jonathan Brooks at 117 is a nice fall. Rashad White goes. Definitely take Golden here. It's a nice ADP faller. Unfortunately, London 007 also has an interest in Golden. Definitely gonna take Kelsey and probably close the tight end room there. Might just grab Diggs here. Do you have Diggs ahead of Shakir, Higgins? Not really interested in Chris Rodriguez, either Minnesota back. I mean, we do like Goddard, but I already have Laporta. Also, just, I think with Hurts, just a lot of his stacks are so, like we said, so chalky that kind of like to skinny stack him a little more than most. But obviously, if Goddard were to fall back to us in the 140s, we would probably be interested with a third tight end, make it work. But just gonna keep drafting Stephon Diggs. Do you think he's gonna end up somewhere? Whoever that is, I think he'll be going higher than he is now. So, like I said, just prefer him to the other receivers here. Obviously would have been happy with Golden, but Jaden Higgins, Khalil Shakir, Coker, Hunter, Shaheed, not much that we're really, missing out of opportunity cost to not take him. So Goddard does go to Pikachu, to the Purdy drafter. Definitely be interested in taking probably multiple Niners bringbacks. Maybe Kalen Black, maybe Stribling. Stribling's ADP now is 166. So we'll probably just wait to 14th and 15th, see if he's available there. Hoping either Tracy or Mitchell makes it back to us here. So Mitchell goes. It would be nice to pair Mitchell with Kelsey, but not good odds of that happening. Especially with London triples or 007 with only 2 running backs. He's got Bijan and Etienne. He also has Mahomes and Lawrence. Definitely would take Tyrone Tracy here. He goes to the bodyguard. Woody Marks also goes, so losing out on some of our picks. I mean, Rondé Gadsden is probably, well, let's grab McMillan. We always like McMillan. And let's also grab Jalen Naylor. Just a tough spot with the running back room, or the options at running back there. Obviously, we're not interested in Pacheco with Gibbs. Jonah Coleman, not interested in there either. Got some guys coming around. Tucker and Bigsby would actually be really nice for this team. So don't draft a lot of Naylor, but do draft a lot of McMillan. So do like that spot for him. It's probably a good Zachariah Branch team, considering that we have Olave, Terry, and now McMillan, because that would week 15, week 16, and week 17 correlate with those three guys. So probably a good 190 pick. I just have an AP of 186, so might not be able to make that happen, but we'll see here. It's the one bad thing about being on the edges is, you know, hoping for Tracy or Mitchell to fall, but either did. So need a little bit of help on the edges to make things work sometimes. But 2-3-6-2 going. Obviously Gibbs is very good. Swift's fine as RB2, and then Warren is a fine RB3. So could also just do a 2-7-7-2 instead of the 2-6-8-2. Stribling goes at 158, so that was a little rich for us anyway. Could be a Christian Kirk team, maybe the last pick. It's been kind of sliding a bit. It's also a good team for Tesla. Don't draft him too much at ADP, but would be nice to have a Detroit receiver to go with Goff. Even though we, do have Laporta and Gibbs. We definitely need at least one running back. Don't want Charbonnet. It's probably going to be Bigsby. Could be Bigsby and Tucker, honestly. Or B-Rob. B-Rob could be our... B-Rob can be our Atlanta piece, or bring back. Also do like taking him at one, or in the one hole, just because gives us leverage, because sometimes Bijan Robinson gets selected here. So we'll take Brian Robinson, and I think we'll also take Sean Tucker. We'll push Tesla along. Sometimes I've been getting him, 185, kind of mid 180s a lot. I think he's a decent click on Underdog just because he is a really good touchdown maker. Kind of his calling card, but so I do like him more here than I do DraftKings. But also not the greatest click at one or in the 15th round. But also, really no one is. Tesla does go. One-time champ still only has one quarterback. And this dude, Troy Nikuas, has four. He's got May, Murray, Darnold, and Daniel Jones. This guy finally takes his second of Geno. I think this probably will be a 2-7-7-2. So we'll take two more running backs just because we're a little better at receiver for sure. Wow, Brandon Ayuk at 178. That's pretty early. Been seeing him go in the last round a lot. To the 4 quarterback drafter. So we'll definitely take Zachariah Branch if he's here. Maybe our last receiver, and then running backs would be interested in. Definitely, like I said, Kalen Black would be good. Probably Jaden Blue as well. Maybe another home run shot. Since, you know, we got some contingent guys. We got some kind of the Branch goes. That's unfortunate, but expected. So what other receiver would be interested in? Probably don't want Ted Hurst to go with McMillan and Tucker. I think Dell would be pretty good. I would definitely take him. And that probably would shift us more towards Marshawn Lloyd as a bring back there. Because we do, you know, Lloyd's fine. They also play Chicago week 16, so some overlap with him as well. So I think there's a decent chance we could get Kalen Black all the way back at 216. So Bleacher John grabs Tank. We also could do 2 running backs and grab Jalen Knoll at the end. Alright, so definitely gonna grab Kalen Black. And let's just do Jaden Blue here as well. These are kind of our late dart running backs that we like right now. Since the thumbnail of this video is Mr. Waffle House, Elijah Sarratt, maybe we grab a share of him as our final pick. So we do need a receiver. I guess it'll either be him or Jacoby Lane, because we like both those guys. I mean, I do typically take Lane more often than Sarratt, but, you know, Sarratt did make a nice catch in OTAs today. We'll see if he's earned any trust from Lamar. Also, just a weird kind of cloud or feeling about Rashad Bateman. Just kind of, you know, could be something like a trade brewing maybe. I don't know. Just weird. He seems like has been away from the team for personal time a little bit. Now he's maybe sick. A couple guys are sick, so just doesn't sound great. I mean, they've been positive about him. The coaches have been, you know, about him bouncing back this year and everything, but I mean, honestly, I don't know who would trade for him with his contract, but just feels kind of weird for a guy that needs, you know, needs to show that he can remain healthy. Needs to show, you know, why they gave him $36 million or whatever. Kind of like Ricky Pearsall just kind of not being there for this week either. Kind of weird, but he's always hurt. Him and Bateman are the working off to the side kings. So I said that Underdog would be kind of in tune with maybe the Sarratt stuff going on, buzz. But, you know, he's still in the queue, so maybe I underestimated the good old dog drafters here. Jalen Knoll goes to Rambo, so he's a guy that we like to take in the final round sometimes now. Especially when we have some Packers to go along with it. He passes on all the late Ravens, but he does, have Henry and Flowers, so it's probably enough of a bet on Baltimore to warrant not taking one of the young guys. Darius Slayton. Don't see his name too often on Underdogs. It's occasionally on DraftKings, but so let's go ahead and star Sarratt and Jacoby Lane. All right, well, looks like we got it to happen. Mr. Waffle House himself, come on down. Join the squad here. All right, so we modified our typical structure here with a 2-7-7-2. Felt like our pretty strong early receiver room warranted maybe one less dart throw there, one more dart throw in the running back room. So we have Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, perfectly nice quarterback room. Started with Jahmyr Gibbs. We have DeAndre Swift for some Week 17 correlation. Grab Jalen Warren. We have Brian Robinson, also with the triple playoff correlation with some of our guys. Sean Tucker, Kalen Black, Jaden Blue, a couple hopeful RB2s with some upside. And then our receiver room is Chris Olave, Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin, Steph Diggs, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Naylor, so Jalen stack. We have Waffle House, Elijah Sarratt, and then Sam Laporta and Travis Kelce. Pretty good room, or pretty good team, I think. A little different. We avoided like I said, the one-hole pitfalls, which are Kyle Lemon with Hurts and Purdy. So those are kind of the chalky things I'm seeing out of the one hole. So we changed that up a bit. So yeah, like the team, like the structure, a little different. We are the only one that has 7 running backs in this room. Do have a guy with only 4, so he went kind of hyper fragile. Cook, Williams, Dobbins, and then Charbonnet. So Charbonnet is definitely not someone I'd want on a hyper fragile running back room, but he also did draft 4 quarterbacks as well. So probably not the structure I would do, but All right, so that will do it for us today. Appreciate anyone who might be watching live or watching the next day. So good draft for us. Yeah, we'll just continue to draft away here. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll be back